For years, you've read the guitar's in decline, the guitar's dead. Doesn't look like it to me. Let's take a good look at the big guitar bounce back. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome, friends, to episode 155 of the Play Guitar Podcast. I'm Lee, and this is the podcast that's determined to make you a better guitar player. No matter if you're just starting out or you've been playing for years, this is the show that'll help you become the guitarist that you always wanted to be. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and check out the description for all of the links from the show. Doing something a little different today. This will be fun. Usually I do a lot of upfront work with the podcast. I sit down and organize my ideas and form it into something that's easily digestible, that makes sense going through. But, you know, we're getting close to the holidays, and I'm coming off of a really fun live stream last night where we went Christmas shopping or holiday shopping. And we're looking at guitars and pedals and amps and all that stuff. And it was a good group of us yesterday. And it was just fun to just hang out and talk. Hadn't done that in a while. I'm getting back into doing that again. So, hey, we're going to be doing a lot of live streams. Make sure that you go over to Play Guitar Academy on YouTube and subscribe, and then we can do some hanging out together. But today, I kind of want to just spend the afternoon talking about some things that I've been thinking of. One of the big things that I've been thinking of, looking back at the year that we've had, is, well, how were things before this all started? Before this pandemic and everything? What were things like? It's so interesting how quickly everything changes and we have to adapt to it, and we do adapt to it. I'm coming to the end of the year and I'm thinking back a little bit, and I keep thinking about all those articles I would read about how the guitar was going away, how it's in decline, how, you know, I'm doing a lot of stuff with the guitar. I have the podcast and the academy and everything. And why was I building something on what the articles that you read said is a dead instrument? This has happened before. Okay. One of the benefits of being on this earth for a little while is you get to see how things go in cycles. And this has happened many times before. And it's usually pitted, the guitar's usually pitted against electronic music. Like it's something completely different. And the way it is the way it's made is different. But good music is good music. During the disco, during the big electronic music, each incarnation of the advancement of electronic music, it's this all or nothing thing. It's kind of like how everything is right now. Either you're for me or against me. Either you're for guitar or you're for electronic music. And it's just not that way. You know, there's plenty of people here who like plenty of different styles of music. And I wasn't worried really at all because I've seen it happen over and over again. But there was a lot of times where the guitar was really huge in pop music. The 80s and going into the 90s. The guitar, it was centered around the guitar. Actually, it was 70s too. You know, that was what pop music was. It was centered around the guitar. For better or for worse. You know, pop music, there's some really good pop music, but not all of it, you know? And how you would distinguish, how could you tell the difference between, you know, rock music and pop music and blues or whatever? And it was the tone of the guitar, what amps you're using, you know, what tones you were setting up. Major pop stars to this day feature the guitar You think about John Mayer, Taylor Swift, everything revolves around the guitar to this day. And then things happened several years ago. The music business kind of went into a big struggle. And we thought, oh man, this is it. The guitar's in decline. Music business is down. What's going to happen? Well, I look back to all the different times when guitar was on the way out. Before the Beatles, the guitar was on the way out. In the 70s, the guitar was on the way out. It was all these different times. And each time the guitar came back, which I don't really feel like it ever left, there was a phenomenon that changed everything. Jimi Hendrix changed everything. Jimi Hendrix sold guitars. People wanted to be Jimi Hendrix. Eddie Van Halen changed everything. We never heard anything like that before. Kurt Cobain changed everything. And, in certain cycles of years, someone would take the guitar and do something different with it and cause a phenomenon. Well, guess what happened? This time it wasn't a player. It wasn't someone who's doing something different with the guitar. This time it was a global situation that changed everything. Interesting. To me, this is very interesting. And, how do we know? How do we know that, all of us staying at home are playing guitar more? How do people come up with that idea? It's usually through guitar sales. We kind of gauge how the guitar's doing by how many people are buying guitars, new guitars, which is not perfect, but it's it's probably the only real tangible data that we can rely on. So sales are up to numbers never seen before and have been since March. And the data they're saying, what are they saying here? I'm going to kind of go through some websites as we go through. Women and Gen Z, right? So up to mid 20s are buying guitars like crazy. How about that? It's not the people of my age and older. It's the younger people, and they're saying women of all ages are picking up the guitar. Well, think about it a little bit. That's new guitars. Can you imagine with what we're dealing with now? How many people have picked up the guitars that they already had? And there's a guitar explosion going on worldwide. And we're in for some really good stuff. Out of challenging times comes change. And we are about to see a lot of change. Hopefully, once we get through this, for the better. Why are we doing that? Why are people going to the guitar? Well, we're limited in what we can do. And we're not as distracted as we were. And some of the things that we've chosen to spend our time doing aren't cutting it for the times that we're going through. I think people are searching out things that make them feel better, or searching out things that have meaning. Certain things that you can do yourself and have a special time with that. And the guitar is that all over the place. What a special instrument the guitar is. I had a teacher once that said, the guitar is a whole orchestra under your fingers. And I thought about that, and I thought, that it's right. The the where the guitar and the piano, to me, besides take away how you actually play the notes, the guitar and the piano, where they differ is in voicings of chords, the way that chords are played. Because the piano has, every note has its own key and they're all laid out. There's a lot of distance, especially when you're trying to play notes and chords at the same time. There's a lot of distance. And to deal with that distance, there's common voicings that piano players play that sound fantastic. And the guitar, the way it's set up by having overlapping notes across 6 strings, allows you to get chords that are very wide if you had to play them on the piano. With just a grip, the space of a few frets. Another thing about the guitar that makes it so special is it's portable. You can take it pretty much anywhere that you want to go. And also, you can play it as loud or as quiet as any situation warrants. It's all about your individual choices, which in this time that we're going in is very powerful. You also get a lot of personal benefits from playing the guitar. Self-esteem is a big one. When you can really make this thing sound the way you would like it to sound, there's nothing better than that. I just want to talk a little bit about you playing are you someone who's started playing guitar in this time? Or maybe someone who started back playing guitar? I've taught for a long time, but there's been times in my life where I've taken breaks from teaching and concentrated more on playing out. So I'd take a little bit of time away and then I would come back to teaching. And every time I come back to teaching, I'm amazed at the songs that people want to play and how little that has changed over the course of my life. There's something powerful about the guitar. It's something timeless. And I think that's another thing that we feel kind of helpless in our situation. And being able to be good at something that's powerful and timeless at the same time is really nice. It's really something. So here we are. Is rock dead? Is the guitar dead? Not at all. Not at all. I'm curious to see what comes out of this. There are so many people picking up the guitar, taking those first steps, getting mad at the F chord, fingers hurting, realize that, man, it's hard to start guitar on an acoustic with strings this far. All these things that we have all been through, people are going through now. It's awesome. It's really awesome. But what's going to come out of this? What makes this also a unique time is the way music is now, where it's never been a better time where someone can search out music that they love easily. Used to be, we would have people like the John Hammonds and the people who were talent scouts and producers who had a really fine ear for talent, for performers who would have mass appeal and nurturing those people. And that's not really a big thing anymore. It still goes on, but it's not it's not the way that music is run now. Now, somebody can say, I'm just going to share this song that I like to play. And it's out there for everybody to see. So we have a phenomenon, what we've been going through. We have a completely different way of consuming music that's never, that's totally different. And we have massive amounts of people who are playing the guitar and learning the guitar. to me, that's exciting. That's a recipe for something really, really, really fun and interesting. And we may not have the Hendrix right now. We may not have the Kurt Cobain right now or Eddie Van Halen right now. But we have a disturbance in the force, right? That's going to be bringing some really great music. I just have a feeling that once we have gotten through this, and we will, we adapt, we move forward, I really think the music we're going to be hearing some things that we've never heard before, and things that mean something to us in a way that we've never known before. So I've just wanted to kind of work my thoughts out with you guys today on this. This is a little different for me. I was not sure that I was actually going to put this out. I didn't know how it was going to go. It's been about 15 minutes, and I think it's good. I'm going to put it out. And thank you so much for spending the time listening to the podcast. I've really, really enjoyed bringing them to you, and I've really, really enjoyed getting to know a lot of you. And I'm so happy that it's going well. And I'm looking forward to next year, where we can really, really take everybody up to the next step in their playing. All right, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining me today for the Play Guitar Podcast. Make sure to hit the button below to subscribe to the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the notification bell so you can get all of my content as soon as it comes out. For more episodes, lessons, and ways to get involved with the Play Guitar community, visit playguitaracademy.com. Thanks again. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you on the next episode.